Live from the Export Beer Garden studio. This is the Agenda podcast for, God, it's Wednesday already, the 3rd of April.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
I'm risen.
You're risen. You have arisen from the ashes. I was worried about you. You had the black lung.
Yeah, no, Pontius Pilate's men came to roll the stone back from my grave this morning, and they saw that I was gone. I was on the 132 from Te Aratu Peninsula into work this morning at about 8 o'clock.
Good on you.
I'm back. I got a good case of the old Easter COVIDs.
Well, look, I think all the kids have Tuesday off now because the schools have decided there's Easter Tuesday now. So maybe that's when the resurrection of Manaia happened on a Tuesday, and all the schools across the country have recognised that. Observed that you have arisen on the Tuesday, so everyone's got it off.
What would the Easter bunny hunt be for my Easter Sunday? Like, would it just be, it'd be
Durries and
bottles of beer, Linkin Park CDs.
Linkin Park CDs, crate bottles of Lion Red, and the odd half-smoked durry.
Just sprinkled around your backyard. Come on, kids, get up.
Come on, here's your basket.
The Easter degenerate's been around. He's dropped Siggy butts.
He rises tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a Scribe CD. Tremendous. Isn't this beautiful?
Oh, look, another Queens of the Stone Age t-shirt.
I think that should be observed, at least in South Canterbury. Huge weekend of sport. I know you guys delved into most of it yesterday. You talked a bit about your trip down to Christchurch and everything that went on there, and we've got a lot of yours pleases about that later on in the show. I think that's been relitigated, but more sort of on-field things and how the game went itself. I was lucky enough to commentate this one. I didn't want to. You asked me last week if I would rep the Crusader if we won.
Yeah,
and I just thought you can't when you're 1-5. You can't really.
You needed it though.
I did need it, but. We did win, but I just didn't want to go too hard on the commentary and be like, oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome, when actually we've only won one game out of a potential 6. But the mics were on as I left the studio, and they caught a little bit of what went on after the game, and this is what it sounded like.
Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone!
I had a little emotional outburst afterwards. Fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. It couldn't happen to a better team either. To beat the Chiefs, the rematch of last.
You could have replayed that audio over and over again of people at the game to me.
Yeah, I bet. The only thing that made it feel bittersweet, or not bittersweet, but sweet for me, was that the Chiefs rested Damian McKenzie. That one was a big FU, which I liked. I appreciated it. And
it was, but
and
it
then
backfired.
And then it backfired. So for the Crusaders to win it, it was just like, ugh, fuck you guys. Because there were a fair few tries where it's like, you can't tell me Damian McKenzie wouldn't have got to that ball first. I mean, when the hooker made a full-on,
my God,
a full-on line break and then just did whoever the fullback was for pace.
No, that was Scotty Stevenson, wasn't it?
Was it?
Shooter Stevenson. No, it was the first 5, the young first 5. It wasn't Josh Ioane.
Brett Cameron?
No, he's the Hurricanes one.
Sorry. Nah. Josh Ioane when he came on, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play well.
No.
He didn't play overly well.
He had a forgettable. If they did fantasy rugby, he would have been in negatives, I think, because he snap hooked that kick out of his own 22 and then he threw an intercept try.
We can't, how long are we going to litigate this game for?
No. I just wanted to play the fuck everyone bit of audio. Well, actually, on that, we got a message from a bloke by the name of Tom Satt. He DM'd me. I presume he DM'd you as well.
I haven't got it.
He also DM'd the ACC, and the DM reads thusly: "Attention, the agenda, in brackets, Manaia Stewart. Good evening, my fellow Crusader supporter at Manukau's. May I suggest a Friday podcast segment for the agenda? The schedule of G Lane, Grim Lane, Grot Lane, Tits Lane, attending live sport out of the 09 area code, mainly / inside the 09 over the weekends. For reasons of a bad track record, he needs to be under the microscope. Hashtag ban Grim Lane. Kind regards, one-eyed Cantab. Hooroo. Hashtag actually love you, Grim Lane."
So, look.
He wants the full dossier on...
my movements.
On your movements. Now, I think he wants the full report on what games you've been to. So I think this needs to be to be aired out. And I thought it was quite interesting, Heath's point yesterday, that the curse actually hasn't been lifted because you didn't leave Auckland. It's only when you travel to games that it's a curse. That's why it was Grim Lane, stay off the plane. And there are some notable famous ones, but I think it would be worth, and over the next 72 hours, I'm going to embark upon a thorough investigation of all of the times that you've travelled outside of your home area.
Yes.
To support your team and the impact that it's had on them. I don't know if you saw, I think I brought this to the podcast last year, they tracked James Harden's performance in the NBA against the average rating of strip clubs in that town.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a drastic, he played poorly in towns with good strip clubs. I would like to graph the New Zealand teams playing overseas when you've attended the games and see if there's a correlation. Because this is very much a vibe thing, isn't it, the Grim Lane?
Yeah, it is. It's not going to be good, to be honest, because there's been quite a number of games I've attended. All Blacks France, Cardiff, quarter-final loss. I attended that. I travelled out of London for that.
The forward pass one?
Yeah. Okay. Barbados. I went over. I booked flights before the semi-final, New Zealand, Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
They lost the semi, and I've had to fly over and watch Australia, Sri Lanka, and Barbados.
Yep.
World Cup final. There is the Lord's final. There is the Melbourne final.
That's the 2015 World Cup.
Yeah. But there is. I was in attendance for the 2019 Rugby World Cup in Twickenham, in which we beat Australia.
Okay.
So there's moments in there that the curse can't carry on. If in the middle of it there is a victory, surely the curse can't continue. Or there'll be some arsehole will find an anomaly in that. I'd say. But it does go on for quite a bit. But I don't attend a lot of live sport anymore.
Yeah, right.
Outside of the 09.
Is that because you've been banned from most grounds for
a little bit?
One, bringing the caravan in as a Trojan horse for bringing in piss, and two, destroying the hopes and dreams of your teams that you support?
Maybe I should go on the road with the Chiefs the next couple of just to test it. So the next away game the Chiefs have.
I don't think that the Chiefs fans would let you do that. I don't think the team would. I think security would have pictures of your face. It's been like, if you see this guy, do not let him into the stands because he's going to tank us. I've been a big fan of the Grim Lane storyline, story arc, cinematic universe, and I will be conducting a deep dive on Friday as to an itemised rundown of every single one of those. We got a DM. It was a bet slip. Now, I'm a big proponent of tips, not slips.
Yeah.
Like, don't send me how much you've made. Tell me when I've got a chance to jump on it. But it was sent in by a bloke by the name of Ben Brunnett. And it was only a 4-leg multi, all on the Parramatta West Tigers game, which was actually an absolute banger on the Monday. And he put $10 on it, and it returned $5,500.
Shit, that's good.
I know. He predicted a few very specific things. One, that there was going to be an upset and that the Tigers would win.
Yeah.
A lot of people made a lot of money on that this weekend. But that Parramatta would be the first to 14 points. That Dream Buller would score at any time. Justin Olam would be the first try scorer. What I want to know is, if this guy's putting $10 on that, how much did he lose across the weekend?
Yeah, what's the spread looking like? How much mud is there on the wall for this little speck to stick?
Yeah, because that is a real... For the Tigers to win, but Parramatta to be the first to 14, but then Justin Olam scores the first try, and then the Tigers are down. It's a ridiculous set of circumstances. A couple of people have pointed out on social media, his profile pic is him in his high school rugby uniform. Is he old enough to have placed that bet? Did he have to get his parents to place that bet? How did that play out? But I understand that our own Joel, the notorious Pantsman Harrison, has been embroiled in some pretty hearty tips.
Well, he came down to Christchurch for the ACC Open at Harewood, and he flew down on the Friday morning, and he was telling us he was sat next to a gentleman who was watching The Gentleman actually on Netflix. Oh, yeah. And you know, if you've got nothing to do on a plane, your eye invariably goes to the iPad next if someone's watching something that's good. So he was kind of just watching The Gentleman over his shoulder, and a notification popped up on this guy's iPad entitled Winner's Circle. And he's like, and immediately Pantsman was like, oh yeah. And so he continues watching over his shoulder. The guy opens it up, the message, and it has a tip in there for a certain race. Immediately, Pantsman gets his phone out, puts the tip in. And then he tells us this. He goes, I've got a hot tip. And we said, what is it? He told us where he got it from. And we said, you've got an issue. You've got an issue. Anyway.
A guy on a plane.
A guy, he's basically watching the guy's iPad.
Also a boomer because he's got an iPad on a plane.
Yeah. Came in. It came in. He came in screaming and yelling that it came in. And it was just like, you've really got to rein it in. Like, you've taken it.
That's problematic.
He goes, he put $20 on it. I was like, oh.
$20 is still quite a lot for the notorious pants man.
It was pretty funny. But
that is the depths of degenerate gambling. I got a tip. Where did you get it from? I was looking over the shoulder of the guy sitting next to me on a flight, who, by the way, put it on airplane mode. But so it was called the winner's circle.
Yeah.
Reach out the winner's circle if you got any more.
It was obviously a very, very hot tip. And see, with the pants man, he'll take anything. If he'll take tips from anywhere.
Yeah.
So there you go. I missed out on a same game multi by just one.
You had a banger on the week on the Warriors.
Yeah, on the Warriors, I had Bradman Best to score, who scored in the kind of last minute. I had who was the Warriors scorer?
Rocco Berry.
No.
Chanel
Jackson Ford.
Jackson Ford.
I had Jackson Ford to score, and I had the other one was on Kalen Ponga to score.
Oh, yeah.
And it was paying quite a lot, and I got 2 out of 3, but it dropped out. But I mentioned it yesterday, I had money on Rocco Berry scoring first and got goddamned bunkered.
Yeah.
That was a gutting.
There were some pretty hearty decisions that sort of went against us. Oh, speaking of Pantsman and the Warriors, at the halftime show, they had the mascot race.
Yes.
Which was quite full on. Steely Dan won it.
Yeah, I mean, he was always going to win.
Yeah.
Steely Dan was basically just had a silver mask on and rugby kit.
Yeah.
And everyone else, like the potato, the giraffes, they were in all sorts. The giraffe couldn't even stand up, let alone run.
Well, the funny thing about the giraffe is that was Joel Harrison.
Was it?
Yeah.
He wouldn't even need the net.
That's why they picked him. So they gave the notorious Pantsman, all 6'7" of him. They roped him in and said, "Look, we got this giraffe costume. We need someone to run in it." Well, he looked a little bit sheepish because on the first leg, because they did 2 full laps of the field, which was out of control. I think that was a logistical.
Yeah, I think one was enough because there was a lot of cheating on the turning.
There was massive cheating. So this was the thing. Pantsman took off, and you could tell that everyone else was just like whoever from the office of whatever, company, Zespri or whatever with the kiwi fruit. But then they had the notorious Pantsman who, is probably like 23, 24, genuinely plays rugby league. So he was at a massive advantage. And he kind of looked around when he got to the 90-metre mark, still had to turn around. And he did turn around, but he turned early by 10 metres, and he looked around, and he was so far ahead of everyone else that I think he looked a little bit sheepish.
Yeah.
So he just started jogging. Then all of a sudden, Steely Dan, it's just like, here we go, hits the afterburners and blasts through for the win.
Oh, he tripped over. I think he intentionally tripped over.
Joel did.
Yeah. Because he knew he'd cheated because he turned around on the 22.
Yeah.
And so he pretended to fall just short of it. It was great. It was great comic timing.
It was.
Yeah.
It was actually, I thought, this is going to be lame. But when they lined up, it was when they were calling them out onto the field.
That was funny.
There were 18 of them. It just never ended.
They kept coming. And Auckland Rugby had a seagull and a potato.
Yeah.
So it was, I was trying to work, I couldn't work that out.
So what was the seagull, was that Auckland NPC team? Or was that North Harbour?
I don't know. It confused me because there was 2 Auckland Rugby ones, and the potato, I'm like, why have we got a potato?
What is that?
Surely it should be a cup of like a latte, a flat white or something. Like
a sail.
A potato, maybe if it was Counties Manukau and you got the Bombays, where the potatoes come from.
That's what I was thinking. Bit of Pocono bacon. What about the Sky City one missed the trick? The Sky Tower could have been out there going for it.
Yeah, there was a few missing. There was quite a few kind of random ones as well that I think they just might have picked up from costume shops.
Yeah.
But the Astros from...
from Frank Energy.
Yeah, that was quite good, but unwieldy though. A lot of unwieldy costumes.
Yeah.
That's why Steely Dan won.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was him or the Warriors mascot, who I've always thought is one of the worst mascots in the NRL because it's just a guy with the Warriors head
with a logo on his head.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the logo is someone's head, but it's like, I don't know. But he could never have won it because it would have been rigged. The other thing is, much like the ACC Opens, if you win the mascot race, it's because you cheated.
Yeah.
And if you didn't win, you just didn't cheat hard enough. Just quickly on rugby before we get to an ad break, Roigard.
Cameroids.
The diagnosis, Cameroids, has come out. It is the patella tendon, left leg. That's at least 6 months out. I mean, I know people who have done this one before. Someone did it for the Warriors a few years ago. That was the end of his career. And then I've got a friend of mine who did it a couple of years ago. He just started playing rugby back up again, did his patella tendon, died. No, he didn't. But it did take a while.
Back in the front row for Takapuna, though.
And I don't know, but his knee still, because he's my gym. I go to the gym quite a bit. He's my gym buddy. And I go, that's not the point of the story. The point is, when he does squats, and they're quite heavy, his knee sounds like a fireworks display. And I can't look at it when he does it. Because as he goes down, you can just hear it, and he's got this big Frankenstein scar up the front of it. The patella tendon's like quite a brutal one to do.
That sucks, man, because
Cameroids,
he was playing so well. That game, that first half, and obviously, like we mentioned yesterday, the curse is being thrown at me that just because we put a post up about him eating his boogers, his super boogers at halftime.
That's a stretch.
That's a real stretch.
If you're at the game, sure. If they were playing against the Chiefs and if you're in Sky Stadium, and then that happened, now all of a sudden we've got another data point. But
that sucks. He was playing so well.
Yeah,
I guess that opens it up for the Fakatavas of the world and potentially TJ Perenato.
Yeah, he actually has been playing very well.
Yeah, Christie, obviously.
Yeah, Finlay Christie will be the number one stringer. We've had a couple of these sort of bigger injuries this year, and I think if you're going to go looking for silver linings, it's that it happened now. If you were going to do your patella tendon, you would do it a few months after the World Cup. Like if you had to.
Yeah.
If they were like, all right, the rugby gods come down and say, right, Roigard, you're going to have one of the greatest All Black careers of all time, but at some point you've got to do your patella tendon. When would you like to do it? And he'll go, I'll take it when I'm young and there's 4 years till the next World Cup, please.
The lightning went down and struck him.
Bang, yeah. You could tell when the green whistle for me is a bad sign.
Yeah.
For a knee injury.
Did you see the signal for the green whistle too?
No.
It was great. It was like, it was like kind of pursed lips, bringing something to your lips and like, bring the green whistle.
Gandalf smoking the shireweed.
Yeah.
It was because for knees, and like, knock on wood, I haven't blown a knee out, but you can walk off with a blown ACL.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, it doesn't hurt a lot.
Yeah, Braden Ennell's a good example.
Braden Ennell walked off with it. So to see a guy with a knee injury with the green whistle, you're like, that's probably not an ACL.
It looked dislocated when they showed him on the ground. That things didn't look right.
Deformed.
His knee. It was obviously the kneecap was all over the place. So that was what we were like.
Yeah. So that's pretty disappointing.
It does suck for him, and it sucks for the Canes too because they're going so well. As you mentioned yesterday, is this part of their peak too early?
Well, they were getting quite chirpy, so I'm kind of like, that's another silver lining is that they can shut the fuck up now because hopefully they'll go on a bit of a slide. They're getting real chirpy at the top of the table, but always sad to see that kind of thing. And just finally on rugby, Whitelock has retired.
Yep.
I think he was just sick of everyone being like, is he coming back? When's he coming back? Hey, are you coming back?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah, he's 35.
Yeah.
And he's in the south of France, and it's coming into summer, and he's with his family over there, and rightly so. I think he said, it's about time I spent time with my family. My wife's pretty much been a single mother for the last 10 years. I'm chilling out in south of France.
I already won't be able to walk within like 10 years of retirement.
So good on him. Good on him.
God bless him. No one's given more to the jersey than Sam Whitelock. Quite literally, he's the most capped All Black of all time, which I said at the time, and I stand by it, was actually quite a disrespectful move from Sam Whitelock because he knocked Richie McCaw off the top perch.
Should we bring Richie back just for a couple more?
Yeah,
against
he's like
the English.
I think because of the World Cup, he's now like 5 out ahead of him. So it's like,
damn it.
Richie, you got 6 international tests ahead of you.
What about just put him on the bench, bring him out for the last 5 minutes
Yeah,
when we're winning?
bring him on at halfback because Roigard's gone.
Well, he's about the same size as Roigard now.
Yeah, yes. Too many Godzone races. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back with some vaguely Nazi-related stories.
Cool, excellent.
The German football team, you mentioned yesterday actually that they have been dropped by Adidas, or they have dropped.
Week. Yeah. Germany have taken Nike as their shirt sponsor.
Yes, and they've dropped Adolf Dassler and his Adidas Corporation from their sponsors. The story gets a bit more far right leaning now because the German Football Federation and Adidas have stopped the sale of Germany jerseys because obviously they're still the jersey at the moment with the number 44 because of a resemblance to the logo of the Nazi Party's notorious SS paramilitary units. Have you seen the photo of the jersey?
No.
It is not a coincidence. There's no way that was just a coincidence. They pay... How much would Adidas pay a jersey designer? Billions?
Oh, no. A jersey designer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it would be.
Or the company that designs, whatever task group that they put in charge of this.
Is he saying the font is dangerously similar
It is dangerously similar. Yeah, look it up.
Okay, I'm going to have to look it up because when I first read this...
Did you think they're going too far?
I thought, it's 44. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You're like, people are looking for a story here because it's the German team, whatever. I thought that too. Then I looked at the jersey itself, and it is a striking resemblance.
Oh yeah,
like that is very.
It's SS. That is.
That is SS. It's a very heavily stylized 44.
Yeah.
Which almost doesn't like if you had shown me that and not told me what it was, I wouldn't have been able to tell you what number that was.
I would have said it's the SS.
I think it's the SS. And so I feel like this is like, I don't know, there's no way they didn't know.
There's some skinhead in the design team going,
because I've sat in meetings, you've sat in meetings about, marketing strategies and tactics and plans, and these things go on and on and on and rounds of feedback, back and forth. And through all of that, no one in the German Adidas team put their hand up and went, hey, do you guys reckon
it looks like the SS?
It looks like a fucking spitting image of the SS logo? Or because they don't talk about it, did it fly under the radar? Because they're so, I don't know, do they teach it in schools? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
The plot thickens. Anyway, those will be, if you're a keen collector of sports merchandise, that'll be worth quite a bit. Have you heard of the Hebberley Shield?
Never.
The Hebberley Shield is
Hebberley?
Hebberley. Hebberley Shield. You wouldn't have heard of it because it is a rowing shield, and it's given out to the winner of the New Zealand University rowing competition every year. For almost 100 years, the prized Hebberley Shield has been awarded. The champions of the men's 8 at the New Zealand University Games. This year, Otago won it for a record 32nd time. Tradition is that if the winning team loses the shield, if one of the other teams manages to steal the shield during the piss-up that night, then they owe that team a keg of beer.
Oh.
So this is like a long-held tradition.
So you got to protect it.
So you got to protect the shield,
like the ring,
and it lasts until midnight of that night. So during the piss-up, the other teams are trying to steal the shield the entire time, and so they knew that Otago when they won, and thinking that they were going to win it, they had a look at various different ways of getting the shield out of there should they win. Yeah. They looked into a helicopter company, see if they could airlift the shield out of there, and what they settled on was they paid a guy, a local wounder or hero, 24 beers to drive a speedboat. And when they were presented with the shield, which they were presented on a like pontoon in the water, as soon as they got the shield, they lifted it, and then the entire team dove into the water with the shield and swum to the boat, while the other teams, the University of Canterbury, University of Auckland, came charging down from the stands to try and steal this thing. And it was like the invasion of Normandy. There were guys getting held, their heads held under the water. People are scrapping, fighting the guy that's got the thing. This is a massive trophy, mind you. It weighs about 30 odd kilos, but it's wood, so it floats.
Yeah.
So he's just thrown it into the water and swimming after it. They load him on like it's Miami Vice and speed off into the sunset with the trophy.
I love it. Is there video footage of this?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. We'll have to get it up on the ACC.
Yeah.
They filmed the whole thing. It's
that warms my heart.
It's absolutely excellent. The Hebberley Shield. We need to be involved in this somehow.
That warms my heart because it's good to see that just university games are still just out of control.
Just dumb shit.
Because I remember the uni games of years gone by just used to be absolute carnage.
Yeah.
And it was... So it's good to know that's continuing.
Yeah, that was too good a story to let through to the keeper. I'm a big fan of that. We need to get involved in the Hebberley Shield next year.
Yeah,
this has got us written all over it.
I'm happy to get in hold of the helicopter company and hover over the top and lower a rope down.
Yeah,
you attach it and we'll just take off with it. Happy to help source that helicopter.
Frisbee that thing out into the lake and we'll monsoon bucket it out. And then we'll sprinkle it over your nearest forest. And then you go out and find it again.
We need distractions, though. We need to, set some explosives off somewhere else or some sort of distraction for the other teams. And then take off with it.
Like a fake terrorist attack at the university games. And then everyone turns around and then all of a sudden, it's getting quite elaborate. But we'll plan something for next year. Get in touch with us, whoever thinks they got the best chance of winning that next year. We have had a bit of feedback on my rant about Auckland FC, the forced fun, the terrazza de Azuro, the fact that one of the owners or interests in the team, one of the stakeholders, gave someone a jersey and told them to go and streak at the Phoenix game. I hated all of that. I was like, it's forced fun, it's fake. How can you be a fan of something that doesn't exist yet?
Also, the guy who ran on looked like from corporate hospitality.
Yes, he didn't streak. The whole, just all of it didn't sit right with me. And it turns out that I may have been onto something, and it may have been that they are actually just like a splinter cell of like a made-up fan organisation, because we've had a message in from a bloke whose name looks like he knows a bit about football, Stefan Bebic, with the little thing over the top of the C. Tell Manaia to reach out. I run the Auckland FC supporters page, 3K in the group. No one knows who the one person behind Terrazza de Azuro is. We have a proper supporter group called the Port Bay 22 in the South Stand. That's the Cave Creek stand. Keen to have the fellas in, get rowdy, sing, chant, flags, flares, all the good stuff, sink piss, support the team, Auckland style.
Nice.
I think I'm in on this.
Okay.
This seems a bit more organic.
What you're in on is flares, sink piss. That's 2 items in that list.
Yes, you've hit the nail on the head in one. The flair really got me. Because that's something we don't see in New Zealand.
There's no way that you let that... I would love to see it, but as soon as they let that flare off, you watch all hell break loose with security and everyone else.
Red badge.
It's a bit of admin around flares because you got
to sneak it in.
No, you got to sneak it in, and when you set it alight, it stays red hot for a long time. The only way to extinguish a flare is to put it into a bucket of sand.
That's right. They have the buckets of sand at the games now.
Over in Australia they do. That's what ended up that guy throwing the bucket at the keeper's head. Remember?
That's right,
cutting him open. So that's why the buckets are there. And I guarantee the security in New Zealand are not aware.
No, they won't think to do it.
Of flares. And they'll try and put it into water, and that is the worst thing you can do because it bubbles up and goes even hotter because it's basically designed to be in water.
Yeah, right.
So that's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. But I'm a big fan of both flares and sink and piss.
Yes, I'm back in. I'm back in on Auckland FC. All I needed was some good, authentic grassroots movement and a flare. That's how you know that this isn't forced fun, because there's no way that the corporate stakeholders would be like, well,
take flares.
Yeah, they'll give you a jersey, sure. Go on then, give us a flare. A blue flare? Would it be blue? You can do blue ones, can't you?
You can do any colour.
A black flare would be terrifying.
Oh yeah, that might cause some sort of fire and emergency call out though.
Yeah, true.
I've only ever seen red.
Yeah, no. Well, obviously they burn red, but they have different coloured smoke. Oh yeah, some of them. But
we get them from marine stores. Is that where you get them from?
Army surplus? I don't know. I don't know where you get a flare from.
Let's sort that out. Maybe run a trial of flares.
Stefan, I'm in. I'll be joining the group.
There he goes back
presently. Just a quick break, and we'll be back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
We got about 3 of them. There were so many across the weekend. Obviously, long weekend.
Yeah, mainly abusing me.
Mainly abusing you.
Which is cool. I don't mind if you want to use that talkback function to vent, and a lot of anger towards the mana bus. And I totally forgot about the mana bus is coming.
Yeah.
And everybody's jumping. Yeah. It'll come. The mana bus will run you over, don't worry.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way, because we've got a couple more. Call it yours, please.
G'day fellas, it's Mike Oxlong here again. G Lane, just with regards to your curse, do you think we start weaponising it? Now hear me out here, we've got a month, a little bit more for you to start donning Panthers outfits and wanking on about Cleary this and 4-Pete that. If you can get enough of that, go over to Magic Round and just let the Panthers fucking shit the bed for us, that'd be great. Thank you, bless.
It's weaponising the curse. I like the theory of that, but I guess the curse is about teams that I care about.
Yeah, well, that's what he's saying. You've got to manufacture
I know, we can't manufacture it though, can you? That's like the Tiaza Drozuro. You can't
that's right.
manufacture them. I am invested in the Chiefs. I am invested in the Black Caps. I'm invested in the All Blacks.
And the sports gods know this.
And they know. I can't turn up in a Panthers top and start waxing lyrical about fucking Cleary and all of a sudden you like the sports gods go, oh, he's a Panthers fan. They know I'm a Warriors fan. I'm a kind of a bandwagoner, but I'm a Warriors fan and I care about the Warriors. I can't all of a sudden be a Panther.
Although it is a great loophole to get yourself over to Magic Round.
It's true. It is, to test the curse.
And someone's going to need to film it, so I don't know.
That'd be quite funny. So I basically, let's do Magic Round, and whatever teams we want to lose, you dress me up in the full kit, and I'll just turn up and just see whether the sports gods are actually that switched on. Because if we can hoodwink them, then this guy's right. Mike Oxlong with the weaponising. So we need to test it.
Oh, Jesus, dangerous fooling the gods, though. Didn't work out well for Hercules.
Yeah, I know, but but if we can hoodwink them, think what we could do at the Cricket World Cup.
Do we dare try and fool the gods? Is this an operation that we need to launch to the ACC? Do we need to test it out by sending you to a neutral event, say Hurricanes versus Crusaders?
Yeah.
And send you along in
full Hurricanes kit.
Yeah, full Hurricanes kit, and just see what happens as proof of concept. And if it works, do we just have a whip around of everyone in the Mad Monday Munters group on Facebook and everyone that listens to the Mad Monday commentary and podcast is like, look, guys, here's a surefire way to win this week.
So who are they? Are we playing the Panthers in the Magic Round?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
I know, I'm pretty sure we played them last year as well.
Okay.
And the NRL say they want to help the Warriors after everything they did through COVID. Get fucked. Anyway, I think that this is something we need to do is weaponise Grim Lane. I'm a big fan of it. We get another one here. Call yours, please.
Hey, G Lane. I just want to say, mate, I feel for you, and I still like you.
Oh, thanks.
I still really like you as a human being. But on a side note, can I pay for you to come down whenever the Chiefs are next playing the Highlanders at home? That's the Highlanders' home. I just be happy to pay for that flight. Cheers.
Okay, there's a theme coming through these. I could see he's obviously a fan of weaponising as well, but he's trying to weaponise it against me, which is I respect that, and I like you too, and but I can't weaponise it against my own team.
Oh, I love that he's like, I'll fly you down here. It's a flight I'll be happy to pay for just for a free win for my team. I'm all in on this weaponising thing. All right, we're going to change tack a little bit. Well, we got one more. Call it yours, please.
G'day, fellas. Just coming back to your house, spice up a chant of the Warriors game. Let's bring in the drop count. So as soon as the fullback drops the ball, we start telling him how many he's dropped. We go, drop, one, drop, two, drop, two, drop, three. Texas A&M do this in baseball off the baseball count. I think they call it the ball five count. So thoughts? If you like it, love it, hate it, tell me.
I like it. I like the fact that you get into the head of the opposition.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many times they drop it, though.
No.
They're so good. Like Kalen Ponga, he let a couple bounce, which was unlike him in the weekend. But he was so safe. And I didn't want to drop one. It was two of us, a Sheck dropped one.
Yeah. That's the only problem with that is that you probably only get one drop in a game.
Yeah.
But I do like that because there's a few NFL cities where they yell every time there's an incomplete. Yeah. So they'll drop it and then the whole crowd in unison will go, incomplete.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe do we do six again when the thing goes off?
Oh, six again, yeah. Or tackle five, or they signal the last tackle.
Yeah. I think the six again could work because there is a bell that rings out at the ground.
Six again, and then needs to be something after that, like kind of six again. Everyone kind of parties for about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah,
you're on a roll when you get that six again, eh? So you can visibly see the team like, fuck yeah, let's
go. This is the chance here. Yeah, I completely agree. I reckon there's something in that. Matt Heath mentioned a good point yesterday about how, because DJ A-Hole at grounds around the country will just play music every time the play stops. Yeah. You can't get a chant going. And at the Warriors game on, what was that, Saturday? They played, hey, baby, ooh, I want to know. And the whole crowd started singing it. But then there was another penalty like 2 seconds later and they started playing a different song. But the crowd had only just started singing.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to have a bit of, just like with streaking, DJ AHL has to have a bit of game awareness to him. You know, like
I don't know who was on the
the ones in
the ones in tools.
I don't know. I think Mark Beard. I don't know. He can cop it.
Yeah, he can cop that stray.
Whoever it is, they need to figure it out. But I quite like that. I reckon there's something around the 6 again's the easiest one to do.
Yeah,
because there's a clear
6 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think the crowd's got it in them. But if there's any crowd in the country that's got it in them, it's a Warriors crowd.
Yeah.
They're just looking for some direction a little bit. I mean, just look at that team song.
Yeah.
And the Warriors, clap, clap, clap. Well, I'll kill myself when that comes on.
Yeah.
And good on them for getting it going. And it's the drummer guys that get it going as well, which seems all again a bit forced fun.
Yeah. So it's when the MC or the ground announcer is like, Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Warriors.
Yeah.
The thing is, that chant does break out organically.
Yeah.
So like it is, but like you say,
Doesn't need the clapping in it.
we can do better. The clapping, I think, is to keep everyone in sync.
It could just be Warriors.
Yeah.
It could just be that with your arms in the air, kind of, like.
We've been trying as a country for so long to figure out what it is. And we thought it might have been Slice of Heaven. We thought it might have been Tūtera Mai. We thought it might have been all these different things, but none of them really work.
Nah.
I don't know.
Oh, they will work, though, for the right crowd. And that's what I'm saying. I think the Warriors are the right crowd.
Yeah.
They're on the piss. They're passionate.
Yeah.
And they're into it.
It's that south stand in particular. I think it's the south one. The
Yeah,
Cave Creek stand.
the scaffold.
Yeah.
The high tower, opposite the non-stand one.
Yeah.
Opposite the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something in there. Anyway, there's better minds than us listening to this, so send them through on the old voicemail and let us know what the chance should be for a 6 again. I reckon that's the key.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
We can wrap around because there's a clear signal to start. All right, time for a half-baked sports idea.
Half-baked sports idea.
On the weekend, because we are now commentating all of the Warriors games live from Mount Smart Stadium.
Yep.
And Di and Ben were in there, and producer Adam was in there as well. And where we sit is right next to the away coach.
Yeah.
And as such, there's a security guard standing next to the booth. I presume that's probably more for the away coach than it is to protect us. But apparently, on their way out, one of the coaches slammed a wall.
Punched a wall.
Punched a wall on his way out. Coaches having a blow up in the coach's box is something we all love as sports fans.
Yeah.
And particularly in the NRL, there's so many coaches that do it.
Yeah.
Craig Bellamy springs to mind.
A lot of them are all former players too, so they're massive hotheads.
And severe CTE.
Yeah.
So
He's looking Ricky Stewart here.
And so, Ricky Stewart, Craig Bellamy, Jeff Tuvey back in the day. The long and proud history in the NRL of coaches blowing up.
Yeah.
We should put a boxing dummy in the coach's booth. Have you seen the ones that it's just like a torso with a head?
Yeah.
One of them in every coach's booth.
Or you could put the, like the gamification, the ones with the hanging ball, and it tells you how hard you've punched it.
Better idea, yes.
Because then you can get a score.
Yes.
So they go over to it and just slam it, and then it goes...
And have that live on the thing. So it's like, Cam Munster's just knocked the ball on the first tackle. Craig Bellamy's walked to the back of the coach's box and just rocked this motherfucker. And then ding. Oh, it's a new world record.
Yeah, I like it.
And then just like when we were saying we should have with the smart mouth guard, put the number up on the screen.
Yeah.
70, he's out of here. Yeah, and then we could keep track of that throughout the year.
Yeah, that would be good. I like that. Even put it into rugby as well, because remember Michael Cheika used to have some great blow-ups.
Yes.
Give
them an array. Give them the one with the mallet where you whack the mallet on the thing.
You only do it in the away boxes. You turn the away box into a carnival. At the back there, it's got the clown. It's got the clown heads. It's got the boxing thing.
Oh yeah, because some of the coaches, like Benji Marshall, started doing this. Some of them like to not react. So when everyone else is hooting and hollering, celebrating, or being real pissed off, and they like to just be real calm. Wayne Bennett's a bit like this, probably because he's 90 years old. But for those guys, they can go and put the ping pong ball in
the mouth of the clown.
Just a nice little soothing one. Or maybe you could get the old slug gun out and try and shoot a balloon. Set up the coach's carnival.
The away coach's carnival box.
The coach's
There you
carnival
go.
box.
That one's for free, Warriors. You can take that.
I think that is one of the best half-baked sports ideas.
Well, yeah. Since we're next door to them, we could just set it up ourselves, couldn't we?
I'll set it up in our own booth.
Yeah. No, just wheel it across and go. They requested this. The Panthers requested this.
Because of where we sit, the window's open right out, so there's basically nothing between you and the crowd. And then there's only a thin wall between us and the coach's box. So even if we couldn't get it into the booth, we could just potentially hold it out the window and just anytime one of them's having a blow up, just sort of hold it out to just like, do you want to let a bit of tension out? Oh, righto. Poof.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what was Stacey Jones rolling in the box there?
I think that was 50-50 cannabis and tobacco.
Oh, okay.
I think he's mixing that one up.
Cut to him. He's just obviously maybe it's just what he does when he's a bit nervous is rolls bits of paper, but it dangerously like he was rolling a spliff halfway through the game.
Yeah, it did. But we won that one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Celebratory spliff.
Well, that's how he deals with it. He doesn't want to punch a punching machine, does he?
Yeah, right.
Rolls a spliff.
Rolls a spliff. Well, we'll add that to the coach's carousel as well. I think that the coach's carnival is a brilliant one that we can actually implement.
Yeah.
So many of these are pie in the sky ideas, but this is something that we can do. It's measurable. Maybe the TAB could open up a book for like who's going to hit the bag the hardest. Well, the punching thing.
What if you put it? Maybe you couldn't put it in their box, like you're saying. Just put it outside the box.
Yeah.
And when the game finishes, you just go, huh?
What do you?
Yeah.
Do you
And just
reckon?
put a Warriors logo on it. Huh?
Yeah.
Bang.
We don't have too many hateable players in our team's the only problem, but we need to be able to, because if you could walk out, if Gary Stead could walk out and punch David Warner in the face, that he'd be setting some records.
That'd be good.
I think Johnny Bairstow would have just about knocked out that umpire that gave him out for
Yeah,
stumping. So I reckon that there's something in this, the coaching carnival.
Yeah.
The Coach's Carnival. All right, let's look into it. All right, that'll do us for a Wednesday edition of the Agenda podcast. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow for a Thursday episode.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.